Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. Bam! Yeah, it's good to be car vlogging with all of you. Happy December 1st, 2016. Christmas right around the corner. I'm out and about doing my chores on this on and off rainy day. It's cloudy, it's dark, and it's cold. It's supposed to get snow up on the hills. Looking forward to some snow in town eventually. The OnePlus 3T. On the dash of my car, shooting this video in 1080p. Super stoked to have brought this device in. At this point, 48 hours into using this device, I've had no issues whatsoever. When I say no issues, I mean no issues. Okay, but it's only been 48 hours. But if this device keeps going the way that it's responding right now as my daily driver, then I'm just that much more stoked to have brought it in and have it amongst all my other devices that I have in my catalog of smartphones. Yeah, really stoked. Right off the bat, what's really important for you to know as far as any device is call quality and messaging. Now, depending on where you live, that may vary because, well, I don't know who your carrier is and what type of area you live in. So for me, where I live, T-Mobile is my carrier. So I got a T-Mobile SIM in this unlocked device, and call quality and messaging has been phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So A+ right there. That's important that my phone calls go out, they come in, my messages go out, they come in, and yeah, I got nothing going on there as far as on the negative. So that's very important. Battery life, probably the biggest next area that needs to be way up here in today's devices. Not all devices respond the way we want it to when it comes to battery life. But again, there's many variables in that, and this video isn't going to cover all of those areas. That's why I'm always saying do your homework, so you just don't look at your device that you have in hand and go, why isn't my device having killer battery life? Well, it could be the size of the battery. It could be what you're doing on it. It could be that it's struggling with connectivity, and on and on and on and on. So you could better your situation if you're doing your homework and adjust in how you are working with your device on a day-to-day basis. Or the battery just may suck, period. I mean, yeah. So again, just do your research. Battery life on its 3,400 milliamp battery. The original OnePlus 3 has a 3,000 milliamp. The 3T that I'm using in this video has a 3,400 milliamp battery, and it is doing awesome. I do have some two screenshots that I will be putting up on this video. I'll edit those in. I got it down at 13% with I think it's 5.5 hours, right around there, or a little over than that. It would have hit 6 hours if I used up the 13%, but I didn't want to completely drain the juice out of it. So at this point, with heavy usage on that first test, those screenshots will show you that at almost 6 hours with 13%, the 3,400 milliamp in this device is working efficiently and sufficient for me in my lifestyle as far as how I use a smartphone and how I'm using the OnePlus 3T. So super stoked with that. And I'm talking, I put this device through a workout when I tested it that day, the very first full day. Trying to let this car go by. Sometimes they get a little scared because you can't see the traffic going the other way. So I understand that. But yeah, man, I had it working out like crazy. I did a morning video and an afternoon front-facing video and on the device, and edited them and uploaded it through the 3T onto YouTube. So when I'm editing using the two apps that I use, and I don't do a ton of editing, you know, I'm putting in music, I'm adding a few messages on the video, but doing that drains the battery. It works hard at that moment to get all that ready and then upload it and then send it out to all of you. So with the media social going on that day with me and responding to the channel and watching some videos, web browsing, doing that, calling, doing my calls, doing my messages, and going through all of that process and what you do on a smartphone, I pushed the 3T extremely hard that day. So if I had used it moderately to heavy, I'm pretty sure I would have achieved 7 hours that day. But yeah, I mean, and that's what I have to do. I don't use any battery saving options at all, battery saving modes. I just don't, because then I'm not getting the real to life, as far as when it comes to testing a battery in a device. So I just let it run in the raw, and then I give you the feedback. But if you're a gamer, that may drain obviously a little faster, because gaming, depending on what type of intensive games you're playing, that could really put a lot of drain a lot of juice out of your battery during that process. So depending on what you're doing, I mean, if your device is struggling to get connectivity with your carrier or Wi-Fi in the home, that's going to drain, and again, I've already mentioned those little tidbits of what the variables could be. But as far as my experiences so far with this device when it comes to call quality, messaging, battery life, and I'll just say performance, it's been top notch. I've had no issues. Now, there are reports, shout out to Donovan for asking me if I've heard of anything about the display having any touch issues and being responsive. And as far as with me, nothing. The display on this device is one beautiful display, 1080p optic AMOLED, Super AMOLED, but it's gorgeous, 5.5 inch. It's responding to me in the way that it should. So no issues whatsoever. If any of you are having those issues, leave some information down below. Go check out some forums, check out Twitter. I guess that's where it was being reported. But with any device, I mean, you want to report anything. You want to take care of that right away, especially if you just brought the device in. You want to make sure that you're, that's your money that you just spent. You want to make sure that device works. And that's why I intensely put my devices through a workout, because I want to make sure if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen within the first 48 hours. I use everything as much as possible on my devices, except for all those extra little functions like gestures and stuff. I really don't get into all that. I can go over that if you want me to do a video on that, but I don't get into using all that. But yeah, I mean, right now the 3T, 48 hours into owning it, is a great pickup. It is definitely a thumbs up. I'm just super stoked to have it. Does that mean I'm going to run out and get every OnePlus device? No, it's not, unless I can find one for a killer deal. I mean, killer deals are killer deals, and you got to jump up on them, especially if it's something that you were looking at and you're like, whoa, yeah, it's going on now, I'm going to go grab it. But just because I'm having a great time with my OnePlus 3T doesn't mean I become like completely overjoyed to the fact that now I want to buy every OnePlus device. No, I ain't like that. I love all my devices. I love all my choices. Every once in a while I'll come across something that I get that I'm not too happy with, but I'm still not to the point where like I'm too disappointed either. Okay, I mean, I'm not, overall, at the end of the day, because I get this question a lot. Do you favor this device over that device? Would you pick this device over that device? It's really not about that for me as far as picking and choosing like that. I love each of my devices individually for what they are, characteristically and personality-wise, and what they do for me as daily drivers. I don't really, I love devices that are unique and different, and I may favor them in that way just because they threw me off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I mean, the Echo Pro 3 for $299, and for what that device gives you, it's unique, it's different, and for that price point, yeah. Does that mean it's the best device? No. Does that mean like all my other devices are like kicked to the curb because of that device? No. So, the only type of device that I would keep at the end of the day, if I could only have one, would most likely be a pure stock Android device. That is the Nexus device. And even though right now we're at a time where we don't have Nexus anymore, and we don't know if that's really killed off, and I'm hoping not, but if it is, and I only had to choose from one device, and I never got into this game of being a reviewer, having my Project 13. Let's erase the last 2 years of me doing this. And if I only could have one device, it would have been a pure stock Android device. I'd probably either have the Nexus 6 or the Huawei Nexus 6P in my pocket every day as my daily driver. And I'm saying that as, basically not just bringing in devices like I do and reviewing them and being able to keep them in some myself. But if I had to only had one, because I was just the average consumer, no matter how much I know about tech, but I wasn't doing this and I was spending my money elsewhere, and I only had to have one device, it would be a pure stock Android device. And right now in my pocket, I'd probably have the Nexus 6 or the Huawei Nexus 6P. Now I said that twice because I was trying to make sure I'm getting that across clear enough to all of you who are watching this video. But that's not the way it is. This is my Project 13. Bam. This is the team. This is the journey. And I am blessed to bring in a lot of devices like the 3T. So, do I favor one or the other? No. Again, let me reiterate. I love uniqueness. I like different. I like price points. But that doesn't mean that I favor that. So no, I'm not going to run out and buy another OnePlus device unless there's a killer price point going on and I can afford it. But I am blessed to have this device right now. The first 48 hours have been awesome. I have been enjoying it. It's fun. It's a strong, powerful device. Feels great in hand. It's sexy. There's more to come on this device. I appreciate you watching the few battles that I've already put up. I got some pics coming, some more videos coming. So let me know down below still what you want me to do, and I'll do my best. Not a gamer, but I can have one of my kids game on any of my devices and I can report that back to you. That's probably the only way that I can do that. So yeah, more to come. I guess, I really wanted to get that out there as far as, number one, how the device is doing 48 hours in. And to kind of clear up what is important on a device when bringing them in, and if they're not working for you, you need to either exchange it out, get your money back, whatever. Make sure everything's working on your devices, and understanding that I really don't favor. It's really hard to answer questions like which one, this one or that one. That's a hard one because I love them all. They're all different and unique. I wouldn't pick one over the other just because I thought it was the best. It just means it has the areas on it that will meet me in the way I need it in everyday use, out of pocket as my daily driver. Okay? But then again, this is probably the third time I'm going to say it. If I had to choose one, and I was just the average person who needed a device in pocket, it would be a pure stock Android device, and it would be probably a Nexus device. It is what it is. Anyway, there you go. First 48 hours and a bunch of other stuff to think about and talk about. So let's have a conversation, discussion. Leave that all down below. And I appreciate your time. I turn up the music a little bit. I got to go over there. Yeah, enjoy December 1st. Say hello to somebody. Make somebody's day today. And when you're out shopping and you're buying gifts, don't do it because you have to. Do it because you want to. And if you get a gift, be thankful. Be blessed.